Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Here locally in the community. Make sure y'all go check out New Cat Body by Jerry Tillery.
Good evening, everybody. It is the NFC North and East Power Hours. Waiting on Leonard to get here. He should be here any second.
The first time it was just me and you, JB.
Yeah, it might be. You never know. We do have the game preview coming up. We can
Hey, Oli.
Dustin. That means Leonard will be here any minute.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
Good to see you guys.
Commandos fan. All right.
We talked about Carry-on Arnold and all the Alabama players you followed, right? Last time I talked to you?
Absolutely, yes, sir. Roll Tide. Hey, did you see about Amon-Ra St. Brown's challenge for Jahmyr Gibbs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buy him anything.
1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, is that 1,000 per rushing and passing and receiving?
It's 1,000 each.
1,000 each. That's what I thought.
He said he better get his pocketbook ready. He might buy a house.
Hey.
It's okay, Jahmyr. It's hard to get 1,000 yards rushing and 1,000 yards passing at the same time, or receiving at the same time.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Did Leonard send you the topics earlier? Dustin?
Set to be able to do it, though.
Oh, 100%. But there's a lot of mouths to feed in the passing game. I think it's going to be really difficult for Gibbs to get that. With Laporta, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, plus the plethora of other guys, because, we always carry 5 or 6 in the wide receiver room.
What's up, Donkey Kong?
Donkey Kong in the building. Holy smokes. Ain't seen you for a minute. Super Bowl or bust. Yoli Cruz. Hey.
Yeah, sorry, it cut out on me, but I do agree. There are a lot of mouths to feed in that offense.
Yeah.
He's too lazy to copy and paste. I get it.
Simple stuff, people.
I hope he likes the way I did it, the RE part. Paul Jones. Yes, we are ready for football. We are itching for football. Thursday night it starts at 7 o'clock with the New York Giants facing off against the Detroit Lions at Ford Field.
What's up,
Wonder if
Leo?
Daniel Jones will know which blue to throw to.
Hey, from what I've heard, he's been doing pretty well.
Well,
Yeah, I think it's amazing that you hear about Justin Fields only throwing 5 incompletions all week, like, when being traded from a team because they thought he was a bust.
I still think they should have kept him and put the weapons around Justin Fields.
I know. I say that on purpose because I know some of them watch the show.
I got you.
Google in the chat.
Well, Chicago's run by a bunch of morons, so I remember what that was like.
Hope you
We are,
gentlemen.
Will. We are.
Yes, we're just ready to talk football. I'm waiting on Leonard to get here so I can go over the NFC East news as we usually start out with because it goes better that way.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm pretty sure Kenny Pickett pretty upset that he had thrown a temper tantrum in Pittsburgh, and now he's trying to fight for his life as third string quarterback now.
Yeah. NCAA going after Michigan for allegedly cheating against Michigan State when Stallions was hanging out with Central during the state game. I don't care anymore because they're going to punish the team when the coach isn't even here anymore.
Well, yeah, because they
Oh,
can't.
that's already been done. That
No, they
they found
reopened
it.
it.
No, they found that Stallions worked by himself. They just put it out there today
Oh,
that Stallions had worked by himself. He worked alone, and Michigan's not going to get any sanctions against him. So that's
why are they bringing it up that it's just coming out today that they're going after him again?
that's not what I read.
Well, anyways, let's get to the news.
That's college.
Yeah, it don't matter right to me anymore. All I care about is scouting time, watching game film on who's in the draft.
There you go.
All right, Chicago Bears. After Saturday's practice, they are down to one starting O lineman healthy for the entire team. With no clue what the injuries are or how long the players will be out, Jones is all that's left at left tackle. Uh, what do you guys think about that what kind of crazy news is that for a team to get in going into the third week of camp right after they played their first game with an asterisk win? But anyways, Von Doom.
People ain't built to swim no more. That's just some shitty luck, dude.
I know. What do you think about it, B?
It's Chicago. I don't care. They didn't have a good offensive line to begin with, so who cares? And as far as this stupid little win on, it's preseason.
I know.
And to have Caleb come out there talking about, oh, this is what we're doing. This is we're in the Super Bowl. Man, if you don't shut up and sit down somewhere, you'd be lucky to win 3 games. Big dummies.
What do you think about it all, Dustin?
Well, it kind of reminds me of being a Washington fan last year, where we had to tie something together and just kind of pray. So it's kind of a salt in an open wound for me as a Washington fan.
I really wasn't going to bring up the fact that your O line was that battered and bad last year.
It was, and honestly, I think it's what got Hal traded because if you look at the games where we played the Eagles last year, he looked like a superstar, and then anybody else we played last year, it just wasn't it. And the offensive line really struggled to help give him time to be able to find the receiver.
Yeah, I covered that. Paul Jones, I know about the depth piece from the Michigan Panthers. They're not the Detroit Panthers, by the way. But yes, I covered that. That was Jake Burton, the starting offensive guard of that team. We picked him up after we found out Nitane Mutai was going to miss the entire season. We also signed Pat O'Connor from Tampa Bay off that practice squad, which in a in of all the craziest circumstances was a seventh round pick by Boob Quinn in 2017, pick 250, and they cut him before they ever even let him be on the team. They cut him in the preseason. He was signed on my birthday that year to Tampa Bay. Played there all 6 years. So, and I literally brought up that the Bears get the asterisk win because weather shortened the game. And it actually looked like the Texans were coming back to whoop that butt because Davis Mills went on a little bit of a tear. 2 drives, 10 of 13, over 100 yards, and a touchdown.
The running back play was very good for the Texans as well.
Yeah, I saw that too. But we're talking about 2 second string offenses versus 2 second string defenses, then 2 third string offenses versus 2 third string defenses. What does this have to do with the regular season? Jack diddly shit.
Yeah.
What Von do?
What?
What do you think about their ass?
What do I think about it? It's preseason. It don't matter if it's an asterisk, if it's a win, it's a loss. As long as
Right.
nobody died, it don't matter.
As long as nobody dies and nobody goes undefeated, because undefeated usually means last in your division.
No, the Ravens go undefeated all the time and they're never last in their division.
But have they
That's
been to a
right.
Super Bowl?
Yeah, they've been to plenty of them. They've won 2 of them too.
We
No.
ended that streak last year.
Since that streak, have they gone to the Super Bowl?
Who, the Ravens?
Yeah, they have not.
Ravens suck.
It was 25 straight. That was
Well, how
after
can you
the
say
Super
the
Bowl,
Ravens suck?
Because they do.
because we don't like them.
They're an overachieving team. Underachieving team, should I say. They got a running back as a quarterback.
Hey, he's
They
won
can do
2
really-
MVPs.
He shouldn't have won last year. He didn't have stats enough to do that.
I mean, at the end of the day, the award's the award, though.
He's that wrong.
When your mom's your agent, she can do work.
Yo, his mom's a badass agent.
At the end of the day, I can disagree with it too. So it don't make a difference either way. So
Come on, that was
Fuck.
great. You know it, Von Doom.
I just I just players that get MVPs for stuff that they just gave it to him for the regular season. This is why I said they should wait until MVP until after the entire season.
Right.
Because
The
in that
MVP
way,
should come off of one of the 2 teams that's going to the Super Bowl.
even then,
Nah. That's a team effort. MVP is just the most valuable player.
right? So
Wait.
if that's the case,
So,
then you
last-
should be. If you're going to be the most valuable player, you should go all the way through the playoffs till your championship. That's how it should work.
Why should it? It's not based on the playoffs. It's based on the regular season.
It should be based on the playoffs. That's what I'm saying. Fuck the regular season. The
That's why
regular
you
season's
Super Bowl
inclusive.
MVP.
You got to get there. So if you're an MVP, you should be all the way to whatever, man. I'm just saying. It's a dumb process to me. MVP's a laughing joke,
All
just
right,
like the Pro
on
Bowl.
to the Minnesota Vikings. After losing 2 potential starters in the DB room, defensive tackle Jerry Tillery went down to knee injury this week. So now they're down another player. This defense is becoming more decimated by the day. It's awful what happened to Kyrie Jackson. Mekhi Blackman was stepping into that spot and playing well in training camp, and then he tears his ACL. I don't know exactly what it is, but I heard that Jerry Tillery is going to miss a majority of the season. And I just think it's awful luck. I mean, they are having the worst off. The last time we saw an off season like this, it was the Lions in 2021 when all preseason, every week somebody was getting hurt. What do you think about all that news for the Minnesota Vikings, Von Doom?
I'm a Giants fan. Injuries don't bother me anymore. They don't surprise me. They don't shock me. They're expected. I think we are the most injured team in the history of the National Football League as a whole.
I know your field was for a long time.
Yeah.
The turf monster eats everybody in New York.
True.
Hey, Strilla.
Hey, it's injuries. Injuries happen. I think what you're alluding to the 2021 thing with the Lions is that they were getting into camp with a whole new mindset. That's why there's a lot of injuries that happened there because Dan Campbell wasn't messing around. He was working them boys. So they, a lot of those Lions that were there at the time, they were getting injured because they weren't used to the regimen they were being put to. So that helps. But hey, injuries happen, man. You just hope it doesn't decimate your team. That's all.
For 20 years, my owner was an injury, so I mean,
Your owner was an injury to the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much to say other than that. So I mean, we had an injury for 20 years. We signed Albert Hainsworth for $100 million. I mean,
Okay.
That was a great.
There's not much other to be said.
That was a great thing.
We did. We destroyed. Honoring probably one of our best players in recent history. We're going to put a statue up, and then they put this little mannequin up with a jersey and a helmet on. I mean, that was very disrespectful.
That was freaking terrible.
But,
right. Buddy Quintito says, where's all the Dallas and Philly representatives, Bondum?
I didn't bother reaching out to them because they suck.
All right.
Hey, I'm here in Dallas.
Love that NFC East loyalty.
Yeah, Dustin representing the Cowboys too. He's in Dallas.
I am in Dallas, so I mean.
No, he can't rep the Cowboys if he likes the Commanders, though. That's like
who wants to rep the Cowboys, really?
I mean, we're talking about a team that slept through free agency and then halfway slept through the draft on auto pick.
See, the interesting thing with that too is they wanted Derrick Henry so bad, and with the amount that they were paying Zeke and I forget who else, they could have had Derrick Henry. So I mean, that just says it all right there.
Yeah, if they would have signed Dak, they would have had enough cap room to sign Derrick Henry. That's the problem, stupid asses. That's Dallas for you.
Well, he thought he was getting into the hyperbolic chamber for 8 hours, and he didn't realize he set the cryogenic chamber for 90 days. That's the problem.
Hey, they've been better than us, so I don't know what to say.
That's not saying too much, though.
Hey,
that's not true because not too long ago, you guys did win the division with the losing record.
That's true. That's true.
And you made it further in the playoffs than they usually do, so I give you credit for that.
Well, I will take any little bit of credit I can get.
But that was when you had Kirk Cousins at quarterback, if I remember.
Hey, I would still love to have Kirk Cousins. So,
even with all the playoff success he's had since he left.
Hey, I mean, to be honest, when we've gotten there, it couldn't get any worse. All you can do is lose, and that's what we normally do. So,
to all those Viking fans out there that tried to tell me that Kirk Cousins was the starter in that wild card Minnesota Miracle, newsflash, it was Case Keenum.
It was Case Keenum.
Because Kirk Cousins got hurt in week 14.
You missed good old Kirk Cousins.
Now, whether they should start JJ week 1 of regular season. Yeah, they should start him.
I don't
So
think
what's
so.
this? You talking about McCarthy or
I'm talking about
Jefferson?
McCarthy over Darnold. Darnold
Oh,
has been having a better camp. JJ McCarthy has been very up and down, and he looks like he needs that season to sit. As I thought, he should have actually went back to college another year. What do
I
you think?
agree. I think he would have been better if he would have went back to college.
What about?
actually, he's done better in training camp compared to Caleb Williams has.
Yeah, that depends on whose stats you're looking at. One of them has some very fake stats out there for JJ.
I mean, with the ones. I'm not talking about with the twos or anything like that.
He just wasn't ready to come out and be a pro yet, honestly.
Yeah.
But that I do agree that probably Minnesota has a better coaching staff and it's easier to transition that move than what Chicago has. The Shane Waldron,
Way over that. Yeah.
the guy that they brought in to be the OC of Chicago, he wasn't that good of a QB whisperer. And to draft a rookie QB and bring him in a run first guy, which is what he was with Seattle as offensive coordinator. I don't know if that's going to work too good. Yeah,
Always often hurt DeAndre Swift. No.
and according to their website, now Swift is the number 1, Roshan Johnson is the 2, and Khalil Herbert is probably on the way out as RB3.
Put him on the block.
They'll keep out Herbert. There's no way they're getting rid of him.
No Green Bay or Chicago reps. Damn, yes, and our normal Minnesota guy told us he'd be on vacation, and he's off enjoying time with his family, who are home on leave from Navy. And JJ has very little touch on his passes. His short passes have been doing to Minnesota wide receivers what Matt Stafford used to do to Calvin Johnson, going straight through his hands and they're dislocating him. So
Catch the ball. So be all right.
the last night I got to go on the Packers guys in their open mic, and they were streaming the Packers Family Night preseason practice here. And it was fun to watch, sort of. It's football. I like watching football. They had all sorts of little things. They did like a skills test with the QBs. That was nice to see. But Sean Clifford beat out Jordan Love. Watch out, starter trouble.
Yeah.
I just think it's funny when you hear that stuff. Even in a chat for another team. Oh, this guy struggled. We're going to start the other guy.
Not after you paid him all that money, they ain't.
To show why he didn't play, why he's not playing.
But Love was playing. And my observation is their run defense looked great for the first 2 series. And AJ Dilon was playing with the number 1 offense, not the 2. Jacobs was out because he's dealing with a groin pull. Dattery went to St. Tammy's and had a Peter pull. I don't know what it is, but he was dressed but off to the side, not playing.
He pulled his vagina.
Yeah, he pulled his mangina. There we go. But after the first 2 series, all of a sudden we see AJ Dilon start to look like David Montgomery, ripping off 5 and 10-yard runs, and I'm like, going, the defense starts to get a little gassed after a couple of series. They start giving up the run plays. I said, this looks awfully familiar. We saw this last year.
Or maybe they're showing their true colors after a couple of plays.
Mm-hmm.
It's nobody's got conditioning yet. They cut their freaking training camps and everything down so much. Are you really kidding? Build people up to be prepared for this shit yet.
Up to the players to make themselves in shape.
Of course.
That's what they're saying. I know.
Yes, sir.
Well, yeah, technically it is on them because the little bastards all wanted to take the freaking time off to enjoy their summer and not have to work more than 16 weeks.
17.
20. Count the preseason.
Since we're going to go high on that one, yeah.
Watch half these guys play. They work like 3 weeks.
I know. So, Dustin, after hear what I just said, what do you think about all that?
Well, I mean, it's not surprising that that Josh Jacobs wasn't in there, with the ones. He did have that groin pull. AJ Dillon is a massive human being. I mean, to be able to be staying in shape. I mean, as a running back, that's just what you got to do. Defensive linemen, like what Dan said. I mean, these guys aren't ready to be chasing after defense or running backs yet. You know, I mean, I know it's their job, but not everybody's going to be ready week one to report and be ready. Um, it's going to be interesting to see what they do. I mean, the Packers did draft. They drafted another running back as well. I forget what his name is, but he looks to be a pretty good running back as well. So I mean, I
Marshawn
don't know
Lloyd.
what is it?
Marshawn Lloyd.
Yeah, Marshawn Lloyd. I believe from USC. Is that right?
Yep.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see how they work that three back scheme. Maybe they're going to do something similar to what the Lions did last year with Montgomery and Gibbs. We'll kind of have to see how that works.
I just think it's weird that AJ Dillon and Josh Jacobs technically are the same style of back. They're a between the
Yeah.
tackle power back. They're not really around the corners edge guys. And
Right.
then they draft Marshawn Lloyd, and I watch, and he's a between the tackles power guy too, just with a little more quickness because he's young.
Jacobs is a little bit better of a receiving back than what AJ Dillon is.
Well, that goes
Um,
without saying because AJ Dillon has the hands of Eric Ebron.
and from what I understand, Marshawn Lloyd is a pretty good receiver too. Is that right?
What's that?
Marshawn Lloyd is a pretty good receiving back as well.
Yeah,
From
he
what
did
I
all right because Caleb either had to do one read, run, or check down because the O line was trash.
well, that's
He
true.
couldn't read a defense because if he could read a defense, he might have beaten one that had a top 25 defense in college. He
Well, and he
lost
had one of the
both
fastest
times.
receivers.
Yeah, I know, and he had Jordan Addison for a year.
Well, and there's a guy there now, number one. I forget Zachariah Branch. He's probably one of the fastest receivers in college football. So you would think they would have figured out how to utilize him a little bit.
I just thought it was pretty great that Caleb decided to sit out the bowl game. They play a bowl game. They win the bowl game against a good defense and come back. And two of the wide receivers said, wow, it was literally great to play like a team.
Right. Right.
And I'm sitting there, I'm going, that was a little dig at Caleb.
Well, they were
And
probably
nobody
just
missed
waiting.
it. They said
Right.
that was the first time all season they said they played like a team, which told me it was a lot of hero ball going on with Caleb Williams at USC.
Well, he's not a leader.
Oh, we know this. Go Bears.
That's interesting.
So
Okay.
I've been watching and listening to all the beat writers around, and it's a common trend no matter what team you follow. Somebody has a bad day that's a rookie or it's their first time at camp, they get crucified.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter who it is, doesn't matter what it's about, doesn't matter what position. Because of the Badgley injury, now Bates was already promoted as the kicker now. He had a bad day on a slightly windy day with hot and muggy, whatever. That's not an excuse to miss, but he had a bad day. But he's actually still made more than he's missed. And it's outside, people. He struggled outside in game. Doesn't that usually mean he's going to struggle outside in practice?
Well,
We're an indoor
that's the point I was trying to make with him.
right, but we play 14 games indoors this season. 14
Yeah,
of
and we also play. Don't we play half of those? We play half of those in hostile territory too. That's another
What?
thing that he had a problem with.
No, we play 9 at home.
Yeah, but you still have 3. You got 3 that you're playing on the road. Oh yeah, all 3 are on the road.
You reading that bullshit?
The
About the top
outside.
5 top 5 NFC North. I will not put Jair Alexander at 1 because he has yet to stay healthy a full season again. Jared Goff, Amon-Ra, and Penne and Love, yeah, all 4 of those guys played all 17 games. But to disrespect Jahmyr Gibbs or Sam Laporta or Aiden
Or
Hutchinson,
Justin fucking Jefferson.
Jefferson didn't play the whole season either.
didn't even play but 10 games.
Who cares? He is the best player in the North.
I don't agree with that. Availability is the best ability. Those were your words.
I mean, if this was based on last season, then I can say no. But if it's based on
Body of work.
whatever body of work, then I would say Justin Jefferson is the best player in the NFC. But
Right.
It was the first
NFC
time he's
North.
really had a major injury like that took time out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And he still put up numbers. So
Yeah, right.
I'm
Right.
just saying, there's
Exactly,
lots of
James
players
Bridges.
that I would put ahead of Jair Alexander. Jalen Johnson
I
had a
won't-
First of all, J.R. Alexander is overrated any damn way.
He's the best
That
corner in
dude-
the North. I'll give him that. Not the,
He
not
ain't
the
even the
top
best.
5 players.
No, he's not. He's not the best corner in the North.
Yeah, he
I'll
is.
give it to Jalen Johnson in Chicago before I give it to him. Ain't no damn way. He ain't got to be on the field again. Best availability ability is availability. You ain't out there, you ain't doing nothing. And then he gets burned. He was getting burned by Amon St. Brown, making him look stupid.
like an old matchstick.
Right.
How is one injury prone? Because if you're going to say that, then Amon-Ra is injury prone because he had 2 of them last year. His chest had his oblique and his foot. So your
In the
argument
same
right there,
game.
John, is freaking stupid.
I'll tell you
And
what.
JJ's not
JJ
injury
is
prone.
not injury prone. He missed.
No, he's not.
He missed 7 games. That's it. In his career.
and still put up numbers.
Yeah,
Yep,
he
and
put
he
up,
still put up numbers. Yep.
put up decent numbers. Yeah, 100%. But at the same time,
With having a different quarterback, a couple
well, while he
different
had
weeks.
the same quarterback, he only hit double-digit touchdowns one season. He isn't the red zone threat everybody thinks he is. He's a deep threat to take it to the house with yards after catch. That's what he is.
He's a yak vacuum.
Yeah. He's not a red
Same as
zone threat.
Tyreek Hill. You don't throw him the ball in the red zone. You give it to him in space. Let him go get to the
Right.
red zone.
Exactly.
He was 19th in yards last year, 42nd in receptions, tied for 35th in touchdowns, and 36th in average yards per catch last year.
While missing 7 games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had
Okay,
half
now
as many receptions as Amon-Ra, and Amon-Ra missed 2 games.
fucking Orlando. It's always got to be about the titties, doesn't it?
Yep, every time. Even when you're not here. All right, back to the rest of the news. Now we are up to the last team in the NFC North. God, who could that be?
Bums.
Bum. Who?
Oh, the Lions.
Oh. Just like those bum-ass Giants that'll take last place again this year.
We're going to see what happens this week, man. Let's see how many of your players get hurt coming out to New York.
I don't care about the preseason game. I
I'm
don't
not
give
talking about the game. I'm talking about in practice this week.
It has been
Probably
fun
just as
watching
many
the
as
Giants
yours,
on
though.
times.
Houston and Pascal both fall to the third string due to poor performances. Betts, Wingo, and Martin with Nate Lynn with the 2s. Right now, It's looking like Chris Smith, Houston, and Pascal are all on the bubble watch for at this point of camp. What do you think about it, Von Doom? Okay, B.
He's like the Giants. He disappeared.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I saw this coming up. Like I said, this is a big chance for Levi to do what he's got to do and get up there because, yeah, Houston, they put him back in. Somebody said, "Well, he was a natural linebacker. That's what they drafted him as." I said, "Well, they didn't have him as linebacker when they were playing him when they first played him. They had him at defensive end. He was playing really good there, but he's regressing real bad. I think he was like a one hit wonder. He might be on his way out the door.
Yep, you're talking about Houston, right?
Yeah."
Yeah,
And Chris Smith is going to be gone anyway. Chris Smith he's a camp body.
Right.
He ain't
But we brought him back and we gave him guaranteed money and signed him to it. He'll be on the practice squad again, is my point. Oh, B Shep 23 says Justin Fields is the best QB in the NFL. In preseason, he is every year.
I don't know about that.
Panay is so good at blocking, he already went to 42nd and Broadway, stopped traffic dead in all four directions just for giggles.
Mm-hmm. That is exactly correct.
That is 100% true, John. But Pascal, I said after he broke his ankle, when that came out that it was a broken ankle, I said, watch out. This might be the last time he's effective in the NFL. And it had nothing to do about the player. It had to do with knowing about that injury and what it does to a person. They are not the same. They can't have the same get off. They can't bend the same because they don't have that flexibility in it because that ankle is pinned together. I've said this, and I said, you watch. I said my surprise cut this year was going to be Houston before the draft. Von Doom heard me say it.
Correct.
I have, and if you look at how he's played and how he's performed and how he's being manhandled by second and third string offensive linemen right now in one-on-one drills, it's showing I'm right. Oh, look at that little crown apple for the birthday boy up there. That's right. Von Doom's birthday. He turned a whopping 49 today.
Fuck you.
Oh.
39, you prick.
Oh, I'm sorry. You just worked so much and bitched so much. I thought you were 49.
79 if we're going off those counts.
No, I didn't even talk about you griping about pain. I was just talking about the way you gripe about work and gripe about
Some days it feels like you're 79. Other days it does feel like you're your age. But yeah, I got you.
So I just said Houston, Chris Smith, and Pascal are all on the bubble watch due to poor play and playing with the third string this offseason.
Good. Houston will go somewhere and they'll use it and it'll be good again.
Right. Who knows? Maybe if we talk crap about them enough, they'll start playing better and get moved up the roster again.
I don't believe that. I've been talking crap about baseball players and sending them DMs about how much they suck all day, and ain't none of them done any better.
How's Lita Trick Griffin doing? I have no clue. I don't know who he went to.
Lita Trick.
Best porn name left as a signed UDFA. He hasn't been cut anywhere. I do know that because I haven't seen him in the waiver wire.
Well, happy birthday to your nephew, Patty Grimes.
And
I just don't want to smoke.
Oh, you just went off camera. Okay, gotcha.
Light him up.
Oh, it's your nephew's 5th birthday. It's his 89th birthday. All good. So, Dustin, with hearing everything that we're talking about with Houston and everything else, and you've seen this, when players come back off of an injury and they're not the same, they do tend to be this way in the off season.
We had Chase Young. I mean,
who's injured for the Saints already.
Well, yeah, I mean they signed him knowing with the what was it, a $12 or $15 million guaranteed contract
$13
that he was
million
going to have
fully
hip
guaranteed 1-year contract.
surgery. I mean, think about all the players we could have drafted other than Chase Young, but when we had him, I was really excited to draft him because with having Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne and Montez Sweat, I thought, my God, we may actually start winning some more.
And you did that year.
And we
That
did.
year, you guys had a great team, and he was Defensive Player of the Year with
Yeah,
what was it, a whopping 7.5 sacks, if I
that,
remember right.
that's right. And you can ask Dan. I mean, I was collecting his cards very heavy that year because I was like, okay, here we go. Everybody else is going to start blocking Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen, and Chase Young is going to start eating sacks, and it just didn't happen. 1 year, that's really it.
All right, B.
Justin Fields said that was his the best player he's ever played with. Of course, this is at Ohio State, but
Right.
Hey, at Ohio State, though, he was absolutely incredible.
Right. He was the one that actually showed up when the Bosa brother went down, the one that wasn't graduated yet.
Yes. Yes, he was something else.
I wish you guys would have taken someone else. I can name him. He went to 3 that year. Jeff Okuda.
Jeff Okuda, yeah, I'm glad we didn't take him. I'll be honest.
Yes, we did.
Although in college he
bring
was
up old
pretty damn
stuff.
good too.
I know.
Why you gotta bring up
It
old
is
stuff?
so hard to get scouting right for some of these guys. Because in college, Jeff Okuda looked like an him guy.
Oh,
At
absolutely.
quarterback.
He looked like
But-
a Jalen Ramsey type.
The hurt one, yeah.
Yeah, you got a tough decision at number 2 pick in fantasy because, in all actuality, if you look at the average yards per carry, Gibbs is great, but I don't know. I don't trust Brees Hall to do it again. That O line is constantly.
Well, it's better this year.
In the draft. If Tyreek Hill's on the board at 2, you pick Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Just
Especially
off of volume
PPR
in a
league.
PPR league, yeah.
PPR league, you take Tyreek Hill at 2. Amon-Ra should be going like between 4th and 7th now, just because of how many receptions he gets per game.
Well, between week 1 and week 6, he could be on paternity leave again. He could have his 15th kid.
I mean, it's 13. 13.
Well, I don't.
I
But
love
between
it.
now
I
and
love
then,
it.
you never know.
Oh, yeah, between now and then, he could have 3. Tyreek Hill.
He's a hell of a player.
You know what's funny is Lamb always falls to the 2nd round, and I don't get the hate in PPR.
Nobody trusts Dak to get him the ball consistently. Okay.
Well, yeah, because Dak is going for the 10th round or later, usually to a team that already has a starting quarterback.
But what's unusual about that is it's not the regular season you got to worry about with Dak because they put up good offensive numbers. They were like the top 10 offensive unit last year.
I think they were 6th or 7th. Yeah.
Yeah, they were up there.
Well, and here's my thing. Down here, I talk to a lot of Cowboys fans that complain about Dak, and I tell them, who would you rather have that's available?
They have no answer.
Well, right, because honestly, there is nobody that they would rather have. I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to draft. I mean, you're going to draft somebody, but you don't know what you're getting. Or you keep Dak. You know what you have. He's very expensive, but you at least know that he's going to put you in a good position to make the playoff.
Yeah, being in the playoffs is like I said, wins and losses are team morale. It seems like they get in the playoffs and they just fall flat. Nobody's talking about Micah Parsons who don't do squat during the playoffs.
Right.
So because
he's a quarterback for the
matter.
defense.
Michael Parsons is just a bad man.
Yeah, he's a bad man in the playoffs. He sucks in the playoffs. They run right at his ass. He won't do nothing.
What did Aaron Darnold do till 1 year?
Aaron Donald single-handedly tried to help that defense
I
stop.
know you ain't comparing Michael Parsons to Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald is a beast.
Yeah,
Michael
Aaron
Parsons ain't
Donald
even on that level yet.
played great in almost every playoff game but one.
How can you say he's not on that level though? You have to completely game plan to take him out of a game.
Not in the playoffs. You still had the game plan against Darnold in the playoffs.
I think it would be a big mistake to
Yeah,
draft
Donald's still,
Shador very
but
high.
Donald is still a force in the playoffs, and Michael Parsons is not.
Oh, it's I'm here from LA. Rams are talking Super Bowl or bust. McVay and Stafford are locked in. I seriously think you might be able to get Gibbs in the first part of that second round, even in a PPR league, just because there are so many of the good wide receivers, and I think you could get them at the back end of that second round.
What is that split looking to be like this year with Gibbs and Montgomery?
I think it's going to look exactly the same. The only thing is they might be using Gibbs on a few more snaps due to the passing game,
So goal line will still go to Monty.
more than likely.
Okay.
I hate
But
that.
believe it or not, they really didn't use Monty a lot at the goal line either, because Reynolds got touchdowns there, Gibbs got touchdowns there, Monty got touchdowns there. They did whoever had the hot hand, whoever did more work in that whole work from the where they got the ball to the red zone. Whoever did the majority of the work got to run the ball in 90% of the time.
I think it's more Ben Johnson. I think Ben Johnson's whatever place he had caught on the goal line was whoever got the ball. You know, you could have had somebody that was sitting there half the damn time on a field during the drive and come in and get a touchdown. That's just the way he calls the game with the goal line situation. Anybody can get it.
And somebody
Montgomery is a bulldog, though. He is the bulldog.
He is the bulldog. And when Reynolds got down there, I think it was versus Tampa Bay, and he told Craig Reynolds to go back in and go ahead and run it in. That was that game, right?
Yeah, it was against L.A. The playoff game.
That was because Montgomery said, "No, I don't need to go in. He can get it in there. He got us to the 2. Let him run it in." Probably because he didn't want to get beat up anymore. Because if you remember right, he got banged up in the first half, went out and came back in. I don't blame him. I'd be like, "Fuck no, I don't want to go back in. Go ahead, take that beat."
Especially diving into those piles. I mean, we all know what happens.
And yes, I read what they said in Chicago, and I've heard the rebash from it from many pros. Did you guys hear what Caleb told his teammates? We need to make it easier on the cleanup crew and start cleaning up after ourselves. Amani Toomer and Ryan Clark were on a podcast together. He goes, "Listen here, rookie, clean up after me then. You want it picked up." Where is that mentality these days? They don't daze these rookies coming out anymore because they're divas. They're afraid they're going to hurt their snowflake butthurt feelings.
Yep.
It's Corum and the Monty role in LA, more than likely.
But Kyrie Williams is going to get the majority of the carries, though.
Right.
He's not. He might have that Monty, but he's not going to get the majority of the carry. That's probably going to be like a 70-30 split with them.
Yes, Caleb is a neat freak.
Go Bears.
And Montgomery does get the tough yards you need. But he does more than that. That's what everybody so far I've been getting frustrated this year because everybody's talking like Monty, like he was Jamal Williams. He was way better than Jamal Williams was here.
Jamal got more touchdowns.
Who was talking like he was Jamal Williams? No damn way he's Jamal Williams.
I know, but the way they talk about the way he runs, you think that sound like all they do is they get the ball at the red zone with him. You know, that's not all we do with Monty. That's all I was getting at. Hell, he had a 75-yard touchdown run on the first play from scrimmage, thanks to J-Mo and his amazing run blocking.
That's going to be an interesting situation this year too.
I think he's going to be fine. They're showing quite a rapport. Now that it's in pads, can't say it was just a fluke in the pajama Olympics at his OTAs. So I think he's going to be fine, but I still want him to prove it when the lights are brightest in the season.
Well, just like we kind of said about Jahmyr Gibbs too, there's a lot of mouths to feed in that offense.
Right.
So.
Well, with the terrible trade and contract of Trey Lance, it looks as though he's on the bubble and may not be with the team. Does Jerry regret that trade, and does his contract hamper the resigning of Dak? Dak resigns the hampers the resigning of Dak. That's per Jerry Jones. It had nothing to do with Trey Lance. You know what it has to do with? He's tired of Dak acting like a normal Cowboys fan, saying this is our year, and then do nothing when they get there.
That's the whole team in general. Making all that noise during the regular season, can't do nothing in the playoff.
Jonathan Brooks, the rookie, is actually out for 3 to 4 weeks into the season. He just got injured again. So he will not be running for Carolina.
Dude's freaking hurt all the time.
It has to do with his ACL from last year.
Right, he re-aggravated it by coming back too early.
Right.
Wasn't he the highest running back that went off the board in the draft?
Yes, he was.
That tells you why right there.
Terrion Arnold, my prediction for Defensive Rookie of the Year. I see him taking a Caleb Williams pass for a pick 6 this season, LOL. Yes.
Shoot, hey, the way Rakestraw's been out there playing, getting a pick every day, I'd give that one to Rakestraw.
Well, he's been doing it against the twos. And that's another thing. When you talk about the Lions media, they bash Hooker for having one bad day where Rakestraw got a pick. Don't say a word about the next 2 days when Rakestraw is raping Suckfelt. I don't understand how when it's a guy, it's his first offseason, he has a bad day, you got to throw him up on a crucifixion pole and set him on fire like he's a witch. But when the other guy comes in, oof.
Dude, that's easy. It's because nobody gives a shit about Suckfield and people still like Hooker.
Right. It's like they're trying to bash him to make Hooker look bad, is what I'm getting at.
I don't know. They can't be bad. Sure. People who know football already know that's bullshit because Suckfeld is just bad.
Lions got the SEC Bama secondary going. Well, if they moved Terrion Arnold to safety, they would, because he actually did play free safety next to Branch that year in the 2022-23 season. Because Eli Ricks was the other starting corner opposite Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Eli Ricks, yeah.
That was a bad situation.
But I'm not wrong, though.
No.
It was a bad situation, though.
To get a pick off of Goff and tell me how good the guy is. You know what? There hasn't been a pick off of Goff since the OTAs.
Don't worry, he'll throw enough in the regular season, buddy.
You say DPJ's looking mid, but I sit there and I look at the snap count. They haven't, neither Raymond nor DPJ has played a snap with any string of the offense yet. So you know what that tells me? Their spots are locked in. Philippe Raymond and DPJ, everybody else is battling for the 5th and 6th spots on the roster, because that's who's getting the reps outside of Amon-Ra. All they're doing.
Maybe.
Sudfeld eminently is interceptable. I could pick off Sudfeld. Sure, then I'd fall to the ground screaming, "Don't hit me!" But I could pick him off. +2 Dave. So, what do you think about that contract stuff, or the stuff with Dak there in Dallas? Their stuff.
Who, me?
What was that? I'm sorry.
What do you think about that whole situation with Trey Lance, Dak, Jerry Jones there in Dallas land?
I may have a very interesting take on Trey Lance, but I kind of think we haven't really seen what he's got. as a whole. I mean, he had that ankle injury in San Francisco, and he never really got back into it. But I mean, he was really raw coming in out of North Dakota State. You know, he had all the abilities, but not really long enough to kind of put them together. You know, it was more. I guess it's more kind of like the Lamar situation. Can throw the ball far, can run, but not really sure what he can do in between the lines. You know, he had the ability, but not really sure how to hone it in. Um, I was somebody when he was available saying, you know, I would take him in Washington, just because at that point, why not? You know, I mean, he's somebody that has raw abilities, so maybe somebody can do something with him. Dak's always going to want big money. Every Dallas Cowboys starting quarterback, is always going to want big money. Dak seems in that situation to always be his worst enemy, where he kind of rocks the boat on both sides. He tries to make the fans happy, tries to make Dak happy, and tries to make Jerry happy. And you can never make all three sides happy.
So this is the first year I actually heard him say the right thing.
Yeah.
He actually said, I'm just going to go out there and play, whether it's for Dallas or another team, I'll get paid somewhere.
Right.
That's the first time I've heard him say the right thing, because that's what he should say. I'm going to go out there and play. I don't care about the money this year. I just want to play. You know, that's the way it came across to me.
Yeah, well, the money he's getting this year also isn't a little bit of money.
Right. By cap hit, he's the number one paid quarterback this year.
Yes.
Everybody's blaming all these contracts. You forget, Dak got paid before all of these starts, and
it was very backloaded.
This was what, his third contract?
This was his second contract. This will be his third if he gets re-signed.
Right.
Oh, yeah, Orlando, you nailed it. The views and opinions of Jeremy Bullrick Jr. do not reflect that of me catfighting with the Motor City Lions, nor I, Smoking Jeremy B. Dad, Jamar Jefferson should start over Gibbs. I agree with you. I've never said those words.
I heard him say it.
Lion sack of shit. Shut up, old man. On your 99th birthday.
99th birthday.
Shit, Jamar Jefferson might not even be on a team.
I'll be honest, I didn't know he was still on the Lions.
He is.
Yeah, we didn't. I didn't either, really.
Okay, I'm going to say this again. Khalif Raymond and DPJ has not taken a single snap in the offseason with any of the offenses, first through third, since camp started. Jared Goff, 5 playoff wins. Lamar, Dak, Herbert, Cousins, 5 game off. Throwing Jones, they got 6. He'll be back by next week. It's a non-issue with Baki. It was just a stinger.
JB, you can throw out all the heat you want in the world today. It don't matter, because the best player ever is eligible for the Hall of Fame finally.
Best player ever.
Eli Manning.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, God.
You mean Brady killer?
All he was a Brady killer.
Everybody says Brady is the best player ever. Eli beat him twice when it mattered most, so Eli's the best.
How many seasons did he lead the league in interceptions?
A bunch. Who gives a shit? 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions a game. I'm good with it. I knew what I was getting.
Didn't he throw like 30 interceptions in a season once or something like that?
I thought that was
27.
It was a lot.
Goff, 5 playoff wins, 2 conference title games, a Super Bowl appearance, over 30K yards, 185 touchdowns, 82 interceptions. 6 seasons over 3,800 yards, 4 seasons, 28 touchdowns, back-to-back years with 4,500 yards and 30 touchdowns. It was 29 last year, but that's okay. Nice. 29 2 years ago. There's 29 touchdowns, because we talked about it all the time.
Hey, John Pike, how many Super Bowls did he win, though?
He said a Super Bowl appearance. He didn't say a win.
I know. I just wanted to point that out there. He said all these great stats. How many did he win? And I called him John Pike.
It's not John Pike.
So So you mean to say that Goff plays defense too? It's a team sport. Wins don't make a difference.
That's
Stats make a
win and lose
difference.
games. I don't care.
that Super
Stats
Bowl
don't make it.
loss
Stats
that
make a
game,
difference. Wins and losses don't make a difference because that's a team sport.
Was it Goff, or was it the 4 dropped passes that should have been touchdowns?
Right.
Maybe he should have thrown a more catchable ball.
When
Maybe
they
the
hit
person
a
should have
guy
caught
in
the
the
ball.
hand, they should
How
have
about
caught
that?
Well, then maybe he should have had the balls to run for the first down or the touchdown instead of trying to throw it then. Mahomes would have done it.
He's not Mahomes.
Yeah,
Exactly. He's not a winner.
No. Mahomes is just a different type of quarterback. Got nothing to do with being a winner. He just plays on a better foot. He plays on one of the best football teams in the league.
Whoa. Time out, though, man. You cannot say that the Kansas City Chiefs are a better team than the Detroit Lions, player by player. Absolutely not. They're not. Mahomes is just a freaking winner and wills that team to do what he needs it to do at the time he needs it to happen.
You don't think it has anything to do with Andy Reid? Because I think if Mahomes would have got drafted by the Bears, he'd still suck.
Dude, God himself could be drafted by the Bears and he would still suck.
All right, then. You just proved my point for me. It's Andy Reid more than it's Pat Mahomes.
I know.
It could be the combination of the two.
It is a combination of the two.
Oh.
It's just like Belichick
It's like
and
Ben
Brady.
Johnson and Goff.
Yeah, I mean it's Andy Reid can't do it all, you know. I mean he can draw it up, but somebody's got to be able to have the athletic ability to do what they need to do as well.
Honest question, Jim Plunkett is a Heisman winner that made it to the Hall of Fame and the first one that's a quarterback. So until Aaron gets to the Hall of Fame, yes, Jim Plunkett's better.
Shit.
Ben
Ben
Roethlisberger is
Roethlisberger's
better
better.
than Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Ben Roethlisberger is better than Aaron Rodgers, based on the same amount of seasons or same amount of time playing in the
Better
NFL.
stats, more wins, more Super Bowls. Yep.
Yep.
Never got that freaking.
The only reason why people will say Ben Roethlisberger ain't better because when they did play in the Super Bowl against Green Bay won. That was Aaron Rodgers. That's the only Super Bowl that they won.
Right.
With Aaron Rodgers.
Reed made Alex Smith a Pro Bowler. Alex Smith was a Pro Bowler with San Francisco till he got hurt. So stop. That type of stuff. Reed didn't make Alex Smith a Pro Bowler. Alex Smith was a Pro Bowl level quarterback when Harbaugh got there, and Singletary was his coach. He made a Pro Bowl. Come on now.
Is in love with Patty Mahomes.
Yes, you are.
No, I actually don't like Patrick Mahomes. I'm just saying he's a better quarterback.
Big Ben was living in the playoffs at a young age, and
Didn't he go to the Super Bowl his rookie year
yes, he did.
and won?
Yeah. Versus Sean Alexander and the Seahawks. And who was that? Matt or Tim Hasselbeck? Then I can't.
Matt
remember.
Hasselbeck.
Matt Hasselbeck.
Matt Hasselbeck.
Yeah, because Tim Hasselbeck retired first, and then Matt was the one that stayed on that longer, right?
But funny enough that if you look back at Super Bowl's performances, Ben Roethlisberger's probably had one of the worst ones
Yes.
that he's ever had.
Particular one.
This is what I'm saying. It has got nothing to do. I mean, the individual players with the other individual players that make the team get the team where it's going. If he could have a badass game and still win, and they won that game. Pittsburgh won that game when he had a bad game, and they still won. So,
I understand all that. I was just being an asshole to be an asshole because it was all dick riding around here.
That being said, it has been 596 days now since Karen Rodgers has thrown a pass to someone other than Kirby Joseph.
Man.
Aaron Rodgers is going to
Chris
come
says
out here. Why are you bringing up
Fields
bullshit?
is going to start. He is playing better than Wilson. Yeah, no one
Wilson hasn't played yet.
much to the chagrin of Chicago Bears fans that hated Justin Fields and blamed him for the losing in Chicago. He's out there and had 5 incompletions all week.
Yeah. 19 touchdowns.
Right. And now,
like I said, all Justin Fields needed was somebody to believe in him and build around him and teach him.
and have an O-line.
I was
Yep.
upset that we were one of the teams that he turned down going to be
Yeah, and
honest.
you guys offered a buttload, too.
Yeah, I
thing.
mean, I was so full disclosure. When Lamar became available for the 2 first-round picks, and 1 minute after 4 o'clock we signed Jacoby Brissett, I was very sad. Then we get Justin Fields, who's available. We make an offer for him. He says, I don't think I want to go there. I didn't think we were ever going to get another quarterback, I'll be honest. And, he's definitely somebody that I wanted to have because I think I don't know who could have done well with that Chicago Bears offensive line, but I don't think it was all his fault. Do I think some of it was his fault? Of course. But he's still very young, and he needs somebody to be able to help him develop as a thrower.
He went to the right place to a coach that's no bullshit.
Yeah.
He needed to go to a structured environment. Washington would have been terrible for him.
Hey, I just wanted a quarterback.
Trust me, I understand that feeling.
Yeah.
I'm a
Right,
Giants
as a
fan.
Giants fan, you do get it.
Dude, you know what? After watching Hard Knocks, I feel really bad for Daniel Jones. They really did not want him.
No, they didn't.
They tried
He's
so much.
He's got to be feeling some type of way too.
Oh, he's not happy about it. He said that in an interview the other day. He goes, "Yeah, it's kind of some bullshit. I got some feelings about that."
Yeah.
I know he
Hey,
does.
Dave Burgess, you bring that up, and I'm going to say like my dad would tell you. But at the same time, Earl Morrell got him to that Super Bowl, and Don Shula shafted him like the year with Johnny Unitas as the quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts, or for the Baltimore Colts.
That's what he gets. But no, you want to talk about bad Super Bowl plays. Look at Peyton's Super Bowl with the Broncos. That was terrible.
So was John Elway's last Super Bowl with the Broncos.
Yeah, I'm still
Is that
pretty
when
sure they
Osweiler
sold the
came
field to
in
get
halfway through the season?
You said John Elway's last Super Bowl with the Broncos was bad? Hell no.
He played horrible. It was Terrell Davis in the defense that won that game.
Well, that was the first Super Bowl that they won. The second one, he was balling out against Atlanta. Remember, because he kept picking on the cornerback that had drinking out.
Wasn't that
He
the
started
year
out
that
drinking
Atlanta
and
beat
partying all night.
Minnesota to beat there? Isn't that the year
What's
that Atlanta beat Minnesota to beat there when they had Favre?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Because Anderson, Gary Anderson, was it Morton Anderson that kicked the field goal to win the game?
Martin.
Yeah, I think it was a battle of the Andersons, and Morton won, and Gary messed up. I forgot who. I think it was both the kickers were Andersons.
Morton kicked for Atlanta.
Right.
He
He kicked for
Chicago did Justin dirty. Steelers got a veteran version of him. Number two number change. Justin Fields 2.0. Pitt has been watching Lamar in division and fight fire with fire this season. Justin Fields actually went and worked out with Jordan Love in the offseason, is what I'm hearing. And that's kind of crazy.
It ain't like Pittsburgh's got to really have to compete with Lamar. They've beaten Pittsburgh. I mean, they've beaten Baltimore just about 7 times out of 8, the last 8 games. So it's nothing that Baltimore just can't beat Pittsburgh right now, which is amazing.
Baltimore struggles with Cincy too.
They do better against Cincinnati than they do against the Steelers.
Right,
The Steelers swept them last year. Steelers sucked last year, and they still got swept by the Steelers. So, I mean, that's 2 out of your 5 losses right there.
Hey, JB.
Yeah.
So you're ready to see Malik Neighbors this week?
Sure.
I can't wait.
Dak Prescott and Jalen Tolbert has built a great connection. Could he be the next in the line of great receivers in Dallas? It could be, but it won't be with Dak as the quarterback, more than likely.
Let's be real. We all know, unless the Cowboys end up with like a top 5 pick, Dak's going to be their quarterback there.
I guarantee you, Jerry Jones said if they don't get past the wild card round, he won't be there. He hasn't done it yet. I don't expect him to.
The senile old man doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He might be dead by then, and his son could be signing the guy.
His son stopped him from getting Johnny Manziel.
Because his son's not an idiot.
Well, I know. I'm just saying that it could have been a much worse disaster in Dallas if they would have drafted Johnny Manziel.
You know,
I mean,
or
my
it could have
God.
been a huge success, though. Manziel might have cared going to Dallas.
No, it would have been bad. He would have been around he would have been too close to home.
Hey, man, strippers and below will do that to you.
That's what I'm saying. Can you imagine if he was too close to home? It would have been they might as well have just put him in Vegas.
Man.
Imagine Johnny Manziel in Vegas playing quarterback for the Raiders right now.
I sure as hell watch it, though.
Hookers and blow every day. That's what it would be, and he'd be out of the league.
Exactly.
What are you talking about? You know how many players still play with hookers and blow? Hell, Brandon Jacobs came out the other day and said he did coke before games and ran for 300-something yards.
I understand.
That was a different time, though.
And that was one game.
Hell, Lawrence Taylor did it for his entire career.
Lawrence Taylor still does it. Have you heard him on podcasts?
Yes, I have. I don't care. LT was a bad MFer, and he still is.
He is. That being said, it's time to move on to the Eagles. Jalen Hurts is looking more like his 2022 MVP candidate self. What do we expect from him this year? Go ahead, Dustin. How do you think Jalen Hurts is going to do?
Well, first, I think we have to attack the elephant in the room and wonder what it's going to be like without Kelsey there at center.
I don't think they got an issue there.
Okay. I mean, you're talking about a future Hall of Famer right there. I mean,
Kelsey missed 3 games last year. That guy stepped in, and they still did the tush push. So I think they're fine.
You think they're fine? Okay.
I agree, John.
I mean, it just Jalen Hurts. I mean, they have a good situation around him. AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. You know, they now added Saquon Barkley. I mean, if he finishes the season out uninjured, that's a different question. But I mean, there's no real question, I don't think, about him, in my opinion.
You had to say that name on his birthday, didn't you?
Of course.
Okay, because I just heard that sigh like, oh, bitch.
Bastards under my breath.
If you saw how the GM handled it on Hard Knocks, I mean, you would understand.
But
I
is
do
he wrong, though? Because the contract that Barkley got from the Eagles is $1 million more than we had offered him the year prior, and he turned it down.
Well, that's because it was a fuck you.
That's what it was. It was the fuck you.
There was you guys were doing nothing but getting them killed.
All right.
Well,
what do you think about? Oh, did we get on?
Last year, damn it, Jimmy, hold on. Last year when Joe Schoen came in, we went to the playoffs in a year where he had no ability to do anything. He had to cut our best players to get under the cap. And then he was still in cap hell the second year. This was the first year he had any money to make any moves. He had a whole team he had to fix.
Well, that's what happens.
That kind of money on a running back is just
$40 million.
What?
That's what happens when you pay Daniel Jones $40 million.
You know what? You're not wrong, but there was no better option at the time.
Well, there was, but you guys didn't want to rip off the Band-Aid and make the tourniquet bleed and do it.
I love that pause, though.
It was a great pause.
It was a nice pause there, dude.
Dude, I want to like Daniel Jones. I want him to be successful. But at the same time, as a Giants fan, he makes me want to hang myself.
I wonder if that's how Malik Neighbors feels.
Malik Neighbors loves him right now because he can throw long balls to him. It doesn't have to be accurate. He's going and catching everything.
Well, I mean, that's fair, but he's still got to get it there.
Okay, here we go.
Well, Jones was informed that Neighbors is his target. Get him freaking the ball by the owner.
Well, of course.
Ringo and Isaiah Rodgers are completing the play opposite Slade. Does it disappoint Eagles fans that Mitchell isn't the guy as of yet? Seeing how we don't have a Philly fan here, we're throwing this question out and moving on to the next team because that guy's here. Dustin,
Yeah.
Jay Daniels and rookie Ben
Ben
Stannett,
Stannett.
I know who it is, are looking to be a force from day one. What are your expectations for the duo?
Hey, I'm wearing my Jaden Daniels jersey here. You know,
There you go.
I mean, we have to. I've been talking about quarterbacks half the show. You know, we need something.
Yeah,
It's not exactly what I would have. You know, yes, I wanted a quarterback really bad. Jaden Daniels, I was excited to get. I had some different strategies I thought maybe they could have done, but we needed something. I'm excited to get a tight end like him, athletic, able to do some things. Um, Jaden Daniels is expected to start the preseason game. I'm just glad that they're not playing the Vikings, so that way Dallas Turner doesn't hit him in the chest again, like he did last year, LSU versus Alabama.
okay, before I
Uh,
get to Brian, I got to acknowledge that Smoking Dad has entered the chat. Von Doom loves this part.
Sounds like a 70s porn music every time you
It
turn
does, don't it? Ain't it great?
it's also been interesting to see that our second round pick, our defensive tackle, who
Oh,
you
that's one
know.
of our topics. We'll get to that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I have a whole nother rant for that, but
Oh,
yes, I'm very excited to see Jaden Daniels. He's been looking very good in camp. I'm excited to see what he does. Do I really think we're going to see much? Probably not. But I'm excited to see when the lights actually do come on. Let him turn loose a little bit, and hopefully our offensive line doesn't get him injured the first week.
all right. Bistrilla.
Um, what do you
Fuck it,
want
it's
me
not
to
our
say?
team.
He
I
doesn't
were
care.
here.
He cares about the
I,
Lions.
I like Jan. I like Jaden Dan. I have to do this all the time with all 32 teams. So it's just that it's preseason. It's training camp. I mean, when we hit the ground running, that's when I want to see these players live up to. I mean, Jaden Daniel's been having a good camp. I've heard so many good things about him. So I mean, he just keeps going, and hopefully that transcribes into the regular season. I mean, hey, that's
So
just with all these players. Even the own Lions players, the same thing.
it's kind of like where I am as far as hearing the bad talk of players in camp.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It gets to a point where you just sort of block it all out, and you're like, okay, let's get to the season.
Yes, sir.
It's
Von
different
Doom.
when you don't wear the red jersey.
Yes, don't wear the red jersey. Anyway,
Like when you're wearing that black jersey, you can finally get hit. It's a little bit different.
Right.
I
Von
think you
Doom.
guys are going to have a great little connection here with Ben Stannett. I think he's a very similar player to the kind of player that Sam Laporte is. He can do a whole bunch of shit, and he likes hitting people. Oh, and JB,
Yep.
also, I think your dad from now on, when he comes into the chat, he needs to change his name to Harry Bush because you're going to play the 70s porn music. It just fits.
No, not happening. But anyways, and on to our next subject, which is Jerzon Newton is impressing in camp. Will him and Deron Payne be the best defensive tackle duo for years to come? Now, Dustin, give your take on Jerzon Newton.
Yeah. I let let me start from the beginning. I wasn't thrilled with the pick in the second round to take him, just because we already have a few players there, and he had that foot injury, and we were one of the teams that didn't realize that he had a similar issue in the other foot. Um, but I mean, he's there. He was doing some good work. His first week or his first day of on field was this week, and he had some good reps. But again, I want to see what it actually translates to, and if he can stay healthy. And I know a lot of teams had number one grades on him, but the injury kind of held him back. But it just seemed like a very almost vanilla pick to make at the time. So hopefully he works well. I mean, Deron Payne and that good rotation will work. So
I thought it was a great pick.
I
yeah,
did too, because I said literally, because of his injury history and not working out like he did with the pro day and the combine and everything else, I thought for sure. I was like, he falls to the second round, he's a steal.
Exactly.
First round, it's a reach because of the medical stuff.
Yeah, we all knew about the medical stuff. The only other real issue you guys had is that he didn't pay that tranny hooker $15,000 that he owes her for that night.
Right. That's the only other thing he's got looming over him is being sued civilly by an OnlyFans tranny girl.
wasn't that guy in Seattle?
No. Oh yeah, that's Byron Murphy.
That's Byron Murphy.
Hey man, same guy.
Hey, I just, to be honest, I just wasn't a big fan of the pick. I felt like we had bigger needs. I think we had bigger needs than going defensive line, but I guess when you draft by need and not best player available, I don't know. Well, I could be very wrong. We could look back at this and see that I'm crazy, but it just, when I saw it, I just kind of.
If you're winning a Super Bowl because he's sacking a guy for a safety in the Super Bowl 3 years from now.
I will say we are a lot farther away from Newton to winning a Super Bowl.
I just said 3 years from now.
3 years from now. If
Yeah.
it happens, I will come on and I will do a whole segment about how I'm so sorry because he sacked a player in the Super Bowl
For a safety.
for a safety. Yes, and I will get a custom Newton jersey made and wear it.
I just have it say SJB was right on the back. No, just kidding.
All right, there we go.
I'm just kidding.
Oh God.
But Dad backs me up on the Earl Morrell stuff. Greasy's team was undefeated, but Earl Morrell had most of those wins. Greasy got hurt that year.
Correct.
Von Doom, you already said your take on Newton, right? Thought it was a great pick.
I love Von Newton. If he wasn't hurt, he's a top 10 pick.
Right. But he was, and that's why he was the second round pick.
Exactly. And then he's a steal.
You just gonna nod your head and agree with everybody, B?
Yeah.
Okay.
DG said it all. He said it all.
Okay. So
and Von Doom too. I give to Von Doom because he's an NFC East guy. So I'm going by what those two say.
Hey Dan, how about this? I'll give you him and you give me Thibodeau.
Say it again.
I'll give you Newton. You give me Thibodeau.
You could choke on an entire sack.
Well, if you like them that much.
I don't like him more than I like Dexter Lawrence, so we don't need him.
Okay. Well, we still have Deron Payne. And if I remember correctly, we still have Jonathan Allen as well. So, I mean, we don't really need him either.
Yeah, I say Dexter Lawrence is better than both of them.
I mean, I don't know.
Okay, so on to the next. New York Giants. Daniel Jones has been connecting on more passes. Oh my God, you went preseason stats on us. 11 on 11, taking all first team reps.
There's a reason this. If you look back at his 7-on-7, he only played like 2 or 3 of them because they were trying to ease him back into it. That's where Drew Lock was coming in. They were showing that, Lock was having these days. Lock has not taken a single snap with the first team offense in the 11-on-11.
I didn't expect him to.
I did, but
I said Drew Lock will not be playing once the 11-on-11 started. I told you.
It is what it is, though. He looked good. And not just on the neighbors.
I know. I'm happy for you. I'm happy that Daniel Jones looks like he can pass on your secondary, which we told you would be trash this year.
My corners are trash. Not my secondary you can pull. My safeties are okay. And Tay Banks is good.
I'm just giving you shit, man, because I can.
My CB2 and my nickel quarterback, who the fuck knows at this point?
I mean, you kind of have the same nickelback and cornerback situation that Minnesota does. It's who's on first, I don't know's on second.
I know who they are. I know the whole rotation, but nobody knows who the hell they are yet. The only one of them that's even like showing up and people thought could be something so far was Trey Hawkins, and that was last year. But he lost his starting job last year when they moved Dory Jackson back to CB2.
Right.
We got a lot of guys with a lot of potential. We just need to get them developed, is what it is in the secondary. They're all young as hell. We got rid of all the old folk.
And I don't think you have anybody that took graphic arts on the roster, so developing people is not a strong suit.
I don't know. I don't know what Shane Bowen can do yet.
He missed it.
Graphic arts, yes, I know exactly what you said there. I'm just ignoring it, sir.
I thought it was a great comment.
I'm not playing with your evil today.
You're not playing with my evil today?
Not today, Satan.
Without having his picture up there, Dan sounds like an angry Schefter.
He does, don't he?
Yeah.
If he puts the picture up there, you know what he'll look like? A Mexican Jay Glazer that talked like Adam Schefter. He came on the screen. Oh, I got him on the screen.
He's number one, huh? He's number one.
Thanks, I appreciate
No,
it.
I'm telling him to sit on and rotate.
No, I know where I rank in your filing system of podcasters now. Thanks, Leonard.
Yeah, right behind the Kelsey brothers. They're funnier than you.
That's okay. That was good, and you know it was good. When you can't come back from something, you know you had a good one.
Not that I can't come back. I was trying not to go completely belligerent with some words.
Oh. I like the New York Giants offseason. I'm not sure it will translate into a lot of wins this year.
I pray to God it doesn't.
I know, because you want to take one of those good quarterbacks at the top of the first round.
Mm-hmm. And I want to get rid of Jones's contract. There's still a year in his entire contract. We can cut him without taking at least a $40 million hit.
Yeah, because if you let him go to the fourth year, it has a bigger dead cap, right?
$68 million hit in the fourth. If we cut him this year, it's only a 20.
Right.
Which quarterback do you want?
Huh? Quinn Ewers?
And my dad says, had Shula used Morrell instead of Johnny U, the Colts might have beat the Jets. Because Joe Namath didn't share that. But anyways.
Joe Namath, the worst player in the
So now it is the topic that Dan wants to talk about. Who's going to cover Malik Neighbors, a rookie, with this cornerback room at Detroit in the joint practice? Don't care. It's joint practice. It won't count because it's not in a game. Eat it.
Okay, I'm just going to laugh when he makes everybody look stupid all week.
You hope he makes everybody look stupid. It's a rookie versus either a vet or a rookie. There is no in.
And he whoops the shit out of freaking Tay Banks in practice day in and day out.
And
you have to remember that Terrion Arnold did play against Malik Neighbors already.
And shut him down.
I don't believe he shut him down.
He shut him down.
What were the stats? Dustin would know, not you.
Okay.
No, it's just
I know Malik Neighbors did score, but I don't think it was Terrion Arnold in coverage. I think it was Kool-Aid. I could be wrong.
Has anybody ever heard anything about Kool-Aid? Because I swear to God, I haven't heard nothing about Kool-Aid in any training camp.
Not much.
I haven't really heard anything much at all. No. But Terrion does have experience playing against Malik Neighbors. And Brian Branch also would as well.
Oh, Malik Neighbors burnt Kool-Aid. First play of the game.
That's who I.
That was his only touchdown.
That's what I thought.
If you're gonna let him run, he's gonna burn all of them. He's stupid fast. You gotta jam the shit out of him at the line, honestly.
I thought it was Kool-Aid's touchdown that he gave up.
It was Kool-Aid's touchdown. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. The rest of the game,
it wasn't bad. 10 for 171 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, but that was his only touchdown is when Kool-Aid was covering him.
That's not bad.
Those are some pretty damn good stats, actually, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, the first half Kool-Aid was on him. The second half it was Cherry on because he switched which side of the field he was playing on.
Let's see what stats Tyrion had. Where's he at? Kool-Aid. He had 5 total tackles, 4 solo.
You have to remember they use Terry on a lot in run support as well.
2 pass deflected.
That's because he's strong. He's great at the line.
Mm-hmm.
He's very strong, very versatile.
Like I said, though, if they get Jam Neighbors at the line, cool, you got a chance. They're not going to run with him.
Arnold had an interception in that game.
Arnold did?
Yep.
Total yards was 478 to 507 in LSU versus Alabama. Turnovers were 1 by LSU. First downs was 21 for LSU, 28 for Alabama. Time of possession, 26-27 LSU, and 33 and 33 seconds. 33 minutes and 33 seconds for Alabama. So it actually was an even game, just they way outscored them.
I will say for the first quarters.
That's what I heard.
Dustin, you got NCAA 2025 yet?
Of course I do. I had it pre-ordered and digital and downloaded. I have yet
Did
to
yours
use.
crash like everyone else complained about?
I haven't really had it crash, but as soon as it opened, the EA servers were down, so there was nothing new there.
So it wasn't the game; it was the servers.
It was the server, yeah. As soon as the game opened, I had it on countdown. I was waiting for it to open, and as soon as it hit 0, I started it, and EA servers were down from the very moment.
Yeah, they were so flooded.
Yeah.
I heard everybody bitching, my game crashed when I just turned it on, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, I can't even get on Madden, so it's probably something bigger than just NCAA 25. I'm taking Texas to win it all this season, returning a lot of starters. They still got to get past Georgia and Alabama before I'll say they'll win it all. They are in the SEC, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think Alabama's going to be that good without Saban. I'm sorry.
You're crazy.
So joint practices. What are you looking for to watch in them, Von Doom?
Besides Malik Neighbors, roast everybody. I'm just looking to see one of my running backs show that they're going to be the guy.
Yeah, you haven't seen that yet, have you? I haven't heard anything about that yet in practice.
All I've heard is that Tyrone Tracy's been taking most of the first team reps, but I don't know how I feel about him being a starter from day one.
Right.
He's a receiving back. I need a pounder.
Right. Eric Gray was like a good all-around back and a nice backup to Saquon, but he's not Saquon.
Yeah, and he's slow.
Right. He's a 4.6 guy. You know, he's not blazing fast, and he's a between-the-tackles pounder. So that's 2 guys that you can got to do that. Where's your blazing fast guy?
DeAndre Miller and Tyrone Tracy are the only speeds we have there.
Okay.
That Miller kid is stupid fast.
Right. That's
He's
the
like
kid
a
got his UDFA, right?
Yep. He was the one that was technically UDFA, but he couldn't enter the draft because of eligibility reasons.
Coastal Carolina, right?
West
or
Virginia.
something like that. Or West Virginia, okay. So, Dustin, what are you looking for? Don't you have joint practices this week with the team you're facing?
The Jets, yes.
Just tell the defense and offense to sit down, let them take the field, let Aaron Rodgers be healthy for one game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really sure what to expect, to be honest. There's so much new in Washington that really I just want things to go well and no injuries. I'm excited to see Jaden Daniels. See what he does. I'm excited to see what Sanat does. I want to see Emmanuel Forbes to see if he can take that next step. Apparently, he's been doing very well, but again, it's training camp, so I mean everything's pretty basic there. But I want to see if he can take a step. He's put on some weight, so that's good. I want to see him, in Dan Quinn's defense, see if he can be that guy.
Mikey Sanistril is going to be that guy there.
I hope somebody's that guy.
I've been watching a lot of your guys' stuff on freaking X and TikTok and that, and the guy is around the ball every goddamn play. He's hitting people. He's just playing better than I thought he would.
You're talking Sanders still?
He's
Yeah. It was like that in Michigan.
The guy that I told you that played exactly like that at Michigan, you were like, oh, he'll be a bum.
Just because he went to Michigan, man. It's just like guys going to Ohio State, they're bums.
No. There's certain times when we're right about a guy. And I said, out of all those defensive players coming out of Michigan, the one that I think will have the best shot to do anything in the NFL is Mikey Sanders as a slot corner. I did say that.
They haven't been playing him in the slot. They've been playing him outside.
But I'm just saying, he was a slot corner for the most part with Michigan, and that's where I thought he'd be best suited in the NFL due to his size.
I remember we talked about that.
Yeah.
And we all agreed that the best player on that entire Michigan team is defensive tackle. That's going to come out next year.
I think it's the corner that comes out next year, Will Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson.
Will Johnson.
He's a nasty one.
That Mason. Yeah.
Dude, I like the defensive and offensive line players better than anything else. I just like nasty freaking people.
So, anyways, what do you expect to see in the joint practices, Bistrilla?
I just want to see make people get out of there without having any injuries. That's what I want to see.
Amen. You know what? We've heard a lot.
I think it's going to be competitive.
That's how many knee and lower ankle injuries we're both going to sustain this week. 4.
Yeah, you just hope Malik Neighbors comes out with both knees.
Remember,
he does have to face off against Kirby Joseph at free safety.
Kirby only hurt freaking tight ends, not wide receivers. What are you talking
He
about?
hurt a wide receiver last year, too.
So he's dirty.
Hey, he was ahead of the game. He doesn't wrap and roll. He tackles at the thighs and slides down.
It's okay. We got a safety that does the same thing now, though.
Yeah, but he is dirty. I've seen him play.
100% he's fucking dirty. And I'm cool with that. I don't care. I like the violence.
Yeah, I had to go there.
I miss the days where you could throw a swing pass to Reggie Bush and then Sheldon Brown just literally takes his soul away.
I missed the head slaps. Defensive lineman coming up and looking like he's going to get blocked and just whack the guy in the ear hole and see him go stupid.
So you know how much that sucks, so that hurts so bad.
Ears
Just
are
randomly
ringing.
walk up to somebody and clap them on the ears. You'll see.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that was what, Deacon Jones that
Deacon
made that?
Jones, Richard Tombstone Jackson from the
Yeah.
Orange Crush, Al Bubba Baker. All those guys used to club the ear hole.
Yeah.
Damn, it's 10:40 already. Where the hell did the time go?
We talked about 30 minutes on stuff that you brought up in between takes.
Oh,
That being said, I want to say something that I try to do for our guests and for everybody that has an opinion on this show. And that's, if I ask you for your opinion or I invite you on my show, when you're giving your take, I try to give you the respect to at least waiting for a break in the conversation to talk or waiting for your take to be done before I can get someone else's opinion or say anything about it, whether I agree or disagree with it. Because debate is fine. But to literally talk over somebody so they can't hear you and then discredit you before you finish talking, that is not fine. I care less what network you work for. I could care less if you're a contributor, a paying guy. I could care less if you own the network I'm talking on. I don't give two fucks about your goddamn opinion if you can't be subtle enough to take your turn and let somebody talk as a guest. I have shut people up on my show for talking over people. And I refuse to sit there and take that type of insult or made inferior over someone that's just a talking head on a TV show.
Who got your ass chapped?
We'll talk about it. I'm not going to call out names because that's not my job. They know who they are, and the people who are watching that program know who did it. And that's all that matters. But no one should do that to another human being. It's why I've made people shut up on my show or wait their turn. I have done that on repeated times. It got to a point where I couldn't do it because everybody did it one show. So I joined in. There's a difference when it's like that. When
I
everybody's
remember
sitting at
that.
each other's throats and having fun. That's different. But to literally make somebody feel like they are an inferior person because they have a take that's different than yours, well, I got 3 words for you. And I don't care that I'm on Roku right now. That suck my dick.
Or eat a dick.
Right. There. I just wanted to get that off my chest because I did tell people from other shows within the network I was going to say something about it. But I do not call out names because you know what? I'm not childish. This isn't high school. I don't have to go to the principal. You know who you are. You know what you did. And yes, you apologized via message an hour after it happened. I take that with a grain of salt. Because if you'd have been a man about it when I was starting to talk about it, you'd have said you were sorry then.
Boy, somebody pissed your ass off.
Yes, sir.
What?
Go ahead, Bandum. Give your take.
I haven't heard JB that mad since his freaking little hooker with the strap on forgot to use the butter for the lube.
You fucking asshole.
Damn.
That's okay. I don't think I've ever seen you mad except for the night that Mrs. Leonard forgot to say bear down because she was begging you.
Hey, at least I was still getting some. Either way, right?
Yeah, exactly. There we go. I only know about it because Orlando told me in the chat about the titty.
Probably.
Off your
I'm
old
pretty sure he tries hacking my cable boxes so he can try spying on me and shit.
He subscribes to your OnlyFans. Have you been paid yet, or is he hacked it?
No, he's a cheap prick.
Oh, okay.
He just keeps creating new ones to use the freaking free trial.
Oh, gotcha. It's smart, man.
7 days or whatever. Not sure if he's a cheap prick or an evil genius. One of the two.
A cheap trick that
Usually
isn't
how it works.
All right. Dustin, do you do any podcasting or do you do any writing anywhere? Or are you just a great fan?
So I'm actually trying to get my my Twitter up and running. I stopped for a while. I did a lot with Alabama, more college than NFL, to be honest. Alabama SEC, a lot with recruiting. So I'm actually in the process of getting a Twitter set up, or I guess it's X now. But still, I'm working with that. I did a lot with recruiting rankings and things like that. So now that I'm here and settled in Texas, I'm trying to get that started up.
Awesome. That's good to hear. B?
Way better than Harrisburg, right?
What's that? Yeah, card collecting.
All right.
Yeah.
Beastrilla, go ahead and shout out your new show because I know it's coming up here quick, ain't it?
Yep. Mid August. Nothing but the smoke. Should be like maybe the 15th or the 16th. I still have to hash that out with Rumble, but yeah, that's coming up.
Ah, Von Doom,
What's up?
are you ready for this week? Because the Monday matchup, we're going to be talking about joint practices when we come in.
Probably.
Okay, just checking.
I promise nothing, though.
If I can get a link to a stream, guess what? Because I found out as long as it's muted and you don't play anything and you take it off screen when the commercials are on, you are able to stream stuff through the NFL. So if I can find a stream of the joint practices, guess what, boys? We might just go ahead and boot up another screen and watch it the rest of the day. Let's
They gonna
go.
allow that to happen though?
What?
They gonna allow that to happen though?
It happens on YouTube. You just can't do it on Roku.
You're saying joint. So they filmed joint practices before?
Yeah. Otherwise, you'd never see camera angles of plays.
Well, I mean, people take pictures and stuff like that in short videos. I understand that, but the whole practice? Do they do the whole practice?
Well, they did it for Family Fun Night. They've done it on Hard Knocks. That means the NFL cameras were there because that's an NFL-based show. So I'm quite sure there's cameras there. But they got to be able to go over film study with the teams at night or in the morning. One of the two. Jack Campbell, I'm looking at the playbook.
Well, it's first for everything, ain't there, Jack?
Who's the first fight at joint practice?
It will be by second series, I'm guessing. But anyways, it's our favorite one. And we do, Von Doom, I decided the design for the new one.
Okay.
I want the Packer symbol at the top. I want the Bear symbol on one side. And I want the Viking symbol on the other. And it's going to be hashtag fuck 'em all.
Yes,
You like that, don't you?
I do.
Okay.
FIA. FEA, FIA. Fuck them all.
Yeah. Fuck 'em all.
Mm-hmm. We should take wagers. We should take wagers who starts the fights.
Dexter Lawrence.
Who gets in the fights.
Dexter Lawrence.
Should we find Jameson Williams for pornographic talk in the chat? Are you guys ready for me to explode? Because it's coming.
Yeah, it's either gonna be Panay Sewell on the Lions, and for defense,
Thibodeau.
it's gonna be one of the secondary kids.
It's going to be Thibodeau. Because that's what started it the last time. It was Thibs and Panay.
Well, from the Giants, yeah, I'm talking about from the Lions.
Now, I don't see anybody on your secondary starting to fight.
I see Terry on Arnold doing it because of his mouth. He likes to talk shit.
Whenever the 49ers do it, it'll definitely be Trent Williams involved.
Well, of course. Williams is awesome, though.
Well, he's got to play first.
Yeah, he's got to play before he can make it
I
happen.
miss that guy more than anything, man.
Jameson Williams, Kirby Joseph told me he's starting to fight. So that means he's taking out Theo Johnson.
Kirby's going to hit neighbors the wrong way. That's going to start the fight.
Yep.
Well, Gardner Johnson's
He'll be a
not there
secondary
either.
person on the defense side for the Lions. Is going to start it or get into it.
You know, after all the shit he talked about Philly fans to start the season, he went back to Philly.
Yeah.
And they embraced it. I was like, man, you guys.
Which is interesting.
Nobody said they have fucking brains in Philly.
Philly fans are fucking idiots.
Embraced it. They were like, oh, we got it back. Oh.
The fact of how perfect your fucking motion was really makes me wonder some things about you, buddy. We never see JB riding around in the new 2024 Lambo. We know how he got it.
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
That's all. The only way any of us are getting rich is if we get our own OnlyFans going and start making money.
I don't know about that.
I said to my wife years ago, I'd make 10 grand a month on OnlyFans if she didn't have morals.
My bedroom activities are for your eyes only.
This is Leonard. That's not what his OnlyFans.
I love that drive-by comment. That was great.
You had to open your mouth, didn't you, Vidi?
Oh my God, that was
Good
a
question,
great
do you
time.
take Jake Bates over Justin Tucker? No, and again, the opinions of Jerry Baldrick Jr. do not reflect that of this channel or myself.
Hey, JBJ, I usually find yourself hysterical, and I love when you fuck with the old guy. But that one,
Fuck no.
yeah, man, you might as well just go stick a fork in the outlet.
I think he did that already. That's the reason.
I think he left it plugged in and just does this before he pipes.
No, that was when he tried to take a bath at the toaster.
Oh,
So we know electricity is his thing.
One
Jeremy,
field.
show them Lions depth chart. Lamar Horton, one view.
What the hell?
I don't know what he. They stack. Well, I'll go over the depth chart once we get a little closer to the season. Right now, until we know what it is, I'm not putting anybody in a depth chart because all depth charts are useless at this point on any roster. Got me laughing all this. That's funny. I love it when people pick on people because they don't have viewers live. I don't care. I just started my podcast page. I got 480 subscribers, and I'm happy with that. We're getting more all the time.
Guys, I hate to do this to you, but my phone's getting ready to die.
Yeah, no problem. We're getting ready to cut. That's why I was
Yeah, we're
starting.
getting ready to cut out. Yeah, in a minute. Yeah.
I enjoyed being on, and hopefully I'll be able to join you guys again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Any Sunday. We do this every Sunday.
It's nice to meet you, man.
Yes, sir. See you guys next time.
See you, buddy.
Yes, sir.
And I'm not saying we're not stacked, Chris. I'm not trying to be mean. I just don't do the depth chart until the start of the season. That's how I do it.
Giants aren't in for a surprise. We know who the hell you are. No, everybody knows who the Lions are. Nobody's going to be surprised by what they are. We expect them to be a good team. If the Giants come out there and light you up, everybody will be surprised because we're shit and we're supposed to be shit.
It's second string versus third string, so I don't care what happens.
I'm talking in general, not you. I only care about the first string.
No, I only care about the regular string.
I mean, it's still joint practice. It's practice. It's practice, not a game.
We're talking
practice.
That shit's a game. Be real. You don't fight over practice bullshit.
Yep. Giants are a good team, but the Lions are a different level of football.
The Giants have good players. They're not a good team.
I needed to give a shout out to my sponsor before it gets too late, which is Branded Service at the corner of South Grand Traverse and West Atherton Road. Where in Flint, Michigan. Flint, where the tires are good, but the water's shit. Used tires starting at $40. New tires, call and get your quote, 810-233-8230. Talk to George Red or myself to get your quote. Mention the ad, you get $10 off a set of tires. Chicken Nugget King.
Chicken Nugget King?
Great night. About time you showed up. Where you been, man?
Right.
I thought you went into some sort of small lion's hell or something for a minute because all of a sudden you disappeared.
Cut off.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, we already did FTP.
Yeah, we did FTP already, man.
Motor
Mr.
City
Brett.
Mania.
Yeah, I said we're going to do FEA from here on out. It's going to have Green Bay, Bears, and Vikings on it.
FEA.
Fuck 'em
FIA.
all.
Fuck them all. Cut Goff. Yeah, exactly. Let him bang your wife again. I mean,
You forgot FTM there. Chicken and nugget.
that fucking stop.
Oh, he's good. He's just been ordering new Lions gear. That's awesome. That being said, I want to thank everybody who was on. Von Doom, Estrella, and Dustin, my brothers from different mothers. You know, we have a blast on this show. I love talking football. I love being on multiple podcasts because you guys have seen it. I don't care whose podcast it is. It could be another team. I will talk football with you. I will talk logically about your team without shit talking 99% of the time. But that 1%, boy, is that fun. Ain't it fun? That 1% of the show where you just say, fuck it and let them have it. Ain't it fun? Happy birthday to Von Doom. 109 years old work-wise today.
Listen here, just because you're about to be like 72 and a half, okay? I don't need your shit.
I know.
I haven't hit 40 yet, okay, man?
I'm trying to deny it.
I can still lie that I'm young, okay?
By work age, I'm 119. I know. I'm the crypt keeper.
And by everybody else's age, you're like 300.
No. I'm not the one that just turned 79 for real today, dude. What are you talking about?
I know. Your ass is so old, your license was written in Sanskrit on a stone.
No, that was good. That was good. That was good. Oh.
+1.
That was a +1. That was good. That being
I don't
said,
think you need a license to ride a camel, though, do you?
I don't know.
Around back there was a Triceratops.
Laser.
A brontosaurus.
That's how old BD's underwear are. I don't think Mrs. Leonard lets them get that old. But anyways, try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. That's the only way to make the world a better place. Unless you're talking to a fan of a rival fan base, then fuck them, let them have it.
That's how I see it.
Jeremy, did you want a job? Yes. If you can get me a job, email me right now. The email's right here. At Smoking Jeremy B. Hit it.
I think he saw you making that hand motion earlier. That's what's up.
Oh.
Well, at least he wasn't two-fisting. At least he wasn't two-fisting it. He was two-fisting it. We'd have big problems, bro.
One from each side.
No, that's Von Doom's overhand.
It'd be a hot towel guy.
That's Von
Spit on that thing.
No, thank you. On that bad, horrible take, let's all have a great evening. Because remember, we are fans of one team in each of those divisions. So that means no matter what our take is, we're wrong 75% of the time because the other three fan bases hate it. So we will be now the new home of the bad takes because we are wrong 66% of the time overall.
Hey, that's a 333 batting average. Let's go.
That's Hall of Fame right there.
Exactly. That's Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame numbers.